Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 21 carries, 77 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
The wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long jumper. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving and had more catches last season than in his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
A fourth-rounder back in 2012 out of Iowa, Mike Daniels, has been about as good a fourth-rounder as you could hope for. A strong defensive tackle, named an alternate selection to the Pro Bowl after the 2017 season. Why? Ability to play the point of attack, and also get upfield and spill plays in the backfield.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Getting ready to go as they take the field.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stacked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And it's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now the Packers get set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. Yeah, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Incomplete. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st down, Garoppolo. He finds Taylor. Complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now Hundley try to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Throwing, Hundley being chased out left. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. They'll drop to throw. Open man is Allison, complete. A big 30-yard play on third. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole.
Just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
And that is incomplete here.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On third down, here's Williams. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football to finish drives, put points on the board?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught left side, Garcon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now McKinnon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Right back to him on 1st down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They get it to him running left. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught just inside the 10. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal. Been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Gold is able to put it through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. on the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll set up to throw. Flush. Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's McKinnon. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got room. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a third down. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Fights off the defender. Looking deep for Adams. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They run it with McKinnon. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 10-6 the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Play action. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those too because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and now it's second down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Now Garoppolo. They're able to find Garcon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here we go.
McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun on third, Garoppolo over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the Georgia center man, it's Matt Breida. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, Speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They're going to look to throw. Rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pre meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, creates a penalty.
They go play action here on first down. Muscles him, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's got this one down to the 10. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on 3rd and goal. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, making antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly. And you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change. Get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now. But if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very angry defenses. You want the offense to take care of the ball.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And his throw is incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal, please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll set up a throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run. This is Williams. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Forced out to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And the pressure gets to him again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And Crosby puts it through. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Goodwin able to haul it in. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have. For him, got to a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nick Perry coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
But no Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. It's caught at the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 50 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They come up in an offset eye. Now Hundley buying time to his left, and that's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And Crosby puts it through, and we are all tied at 16 apiece. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And a loose football. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation. Here defensively.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think
blitz coming, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Throwing, Hundley, dancing to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Packers on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And it was the visiting L.A. Rams who get the victory in that one. Jared Goff, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 16-13, your final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Trevor Davis now to return. He hurdles him.
Should get a gold medal for that one.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
4 down. Let's go!
The busy night continues for Williams. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. The Packers on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fella's got the memo, and it decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get him.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Here we go. Like 80!
Now the fullback, Juszczyk. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there.
Like 80! 180!
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Vince Beagle in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll drop the throw, sliding out of the pocket. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
So he was past the line. It's a 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Eric Armstead able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Clay Matthews. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's going to go down again.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know their confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you...
The big fella! And left side here, it's Graham. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 65 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Crosby on now to kick it away. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Black 80! Black 20!
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go, here we go. 80!
And the blitz does come. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Perry in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Garoppolo. And some room to work. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
180! 180!
Now a handoff looking right. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead,
and across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on 1st down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's what I'm right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Oh, man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
To throw, Kaiser. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Brett Hundley with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And Selleck here, left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 57 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Crosby on now to kick it away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And all the way down to the 29. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 44 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And on the ground they go with the running back. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Matt Moore, the backup, ready for his first throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Montravius Adams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Hundley now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tartt.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Being chased out left. And incomplete on the deep ball. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Over the middle to Garcon. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
They just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. They'll roll him out right. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now Williams. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now Hundley, eluding the pressure right. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 7 catches for him now, and his last one, a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And in this situation with the fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one. Came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing, Hundley. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
All right,
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That one goes for 24 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Moore. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Now let's go. 3.
Operating from the gun. Moore. Floating one, incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
In the backfield, standing alone on 2nd and goal is McKinnon.
Set. 3-19.
Moore now. Looking for Garcon. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. Pierre Garcon, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Gold with the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throw left side complete. It's Graham. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. To give him a couple on the catch, it's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. This man's been a fan favorite in the Bay Area for a while. First with Stanford, now with San Fran.
The number 3 pick out of Stanford last season. His versatility is the key to his success. Whether he's playing defensive tackle, defensive end, line him up over the nose in passing situations, he usually uses his quickness to get to the quarterback.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he stays up. Flush to his right. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find... find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Moore now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Here again is McKinnon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
To throw on third down. Moore. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. It fights him off, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And Crosby puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Back to throw. More. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Looking to throw. More. Caught left side. Garcon. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really does.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Hurry up, here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And Crosby puts it through, and their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Moore. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
This is fielded at the 27th. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Reuben Foster bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught at the 7. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Moore now, throwing again on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. To throw is Moore on 1st and 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that will shave one more off this lead. Gold now out to kick it away. Returnable here for Davis. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Breaks a tackle. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA.
You